I'm Paul Smith. I'm the Vice President for Litigation and Strategy at the Campaign Legal Center in Washington, D.C., and we are counsel for the League of Women Voters of North Carolina and some individual plaintiffs, along with the Southern Coalition for Social Justice and Professor Nick Stephanopoulos at the University of Chicago, representing them in a constitutional challenge to the North Carolina congressional districts. And that was one of the two gerrymandering cases heard at the Supreme Court this morning. The lower court in that case held the map unconstitutional. It's a map that basically guarantees the Republicans will get 10 of the 13 districts regardless of how the people vote. And there were two cases brought in North Carolina, one by the Common Cause and ours by the League of Women Voters group. We tried the case together and we won together. We both got to argue today in the Supreme Court. And I come out of the argument thinking that the court may very well once and for all find a solution to this problem, a problem which involves basic American constitutional values, the use of law to discriminate against one of the parties and help the other one have a guaranteed win. And so what the court was wrestling with today was the question of how do you figure out what the standard should be. How do we identify those maps that are sufficiently extreme that they have to be unconstitutional? And the court, I think, was understanding the standards we were giving them and taking seriously the idea that we have come up with a three-part test that will limit liability to the most extreme maps, like the ones in North Carolina and Maryland that were in the cases before the court today. We won't know for about 3 more months, but the hope is that today, once and for all, on the eve of another census with all the maps in the country about to be redrawn, that the court will come up with a clear, enforceable test to put a limit on gerrymandering and allow democracy to flourish. Because what gerrymandering does is it negates democracy. It says we're going to decide in advance which party wins the elections regardless of how people vote. And that's simply intolerable. It's been going on too long in this country. It's getting worse, and if the court doesn't act, it will be all that much more worse, even terrible, in the coming decade. It needs to stop.